Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. If you don't know us, we're Henna and Jake, and we travel for under £1,000 a month to show you that it's still possible to do this. In this video, we dive into exactly what you need to do in Bali and all the things you need to know before you go there. First thing and most important thing, visas. When you get to Denpasar Airport, you can get a visa on arrival for about $35. This lasts for 30 days.
You can extend your visa for about £45, which means you use a company, you only have to go to the office once, whereas if you don't use a company, then you have to go 3 times. I think one to give your passport, one to do biometrics, and then one to pick up your passport. Whereas if you use a visa agency, you only have to go for biometrics, and it usually is within about a week of going and sending your passport off. So the next thing you need to know before coming to Bali is when the best time to visit is. Now Jake's been in Bali, I think February, March, September and October time.
Although the high season is May to like September time, we're planning to go back in December, and I've been around the wet season before. There's absolutely no problem with being there. It rains for a little bit, but the sun always comes out at some point, so you definitely enjoy your trip no matter when you go. So when you get to Bali, you've got your visa sorted, you come out of the airport, you know where you're heading first, you need to get a taxi. Now you can get Grabs or Gojeks, these are like the Ubers in like Indonesia, but if you don't have data on your phone, then you're going to struggle to get these. So you can use the taxi service that's actually at the airport.
So the taxi man we actually had tried to charge us 500k to get from the airport to Canggu, which is an hour's drive. I think we managed to get him down to about 350 or 400.
Yeah.
And I think on Grab, when we went back to the airport to leave, it was about 150. So you can see like there is a massive difference in price, but again, like if you don't have a SIM card already sorted, then you don't really have much of an option. So once you're actually in Canggu and you've got to your hotel hostel, the best thing you can do to get around the area is probably hire a bike. I mean, I think it cost us about £100, £50 each to hire a bike for a month period when we were in Bali. But if you're not comfortable with hiring a bike and you don't like riding, then you can get Grabs and Gojeks. They do bike options and taxi options. Would recommend you still get a bike because the traffic's so bad, the taxis take forever to get around.
Yeah, but if you're going to get a bike, make sure you're comfortable with riding. If you've never ridden a bike before, Bali is a pretty crazy place to ride. But if you're going to ride a bike, definitely recommend wearing a helmet the whole time.
Also with the helmets, we did actually get fined because I didn't wear my helmet. Sorry, Mum, if you're watching.
But Henna's hair on this one night was too important and she didn't want it to look bad.
Yeah, we got fined, and also then we got fined because we got pulled over, not just for not wearing a helmet, but also for not having a driving licence on us, so we got fined for both of those. So take your driving licence with you at all times.
Yeah. So one last thing to mention on Grabs, Gojeks, remember I said they're the Ubers of the island. They actually vary wildly in price, and there's not one that's cheaper. Sometimes one is cheaper, the other's cheaper. So just check both. I actually could only get Gojek when I had an Indonesian number, so you might only be able to get Grab on your UK number if you're from the UK. But now, the most important thing, where are you going to go when you get to Bali? Where should you start your trip? Now, we recommend Canggu. I've been here so many times, spent a lot of time here. It has become super busy over the last few years, but the cafe culture and surf spots still mean that it's a 100% place that you need to go.
But just to warn you, Canggu is not an authentic Bali experience. If you want more of an authentic experience, then we recommend you heading off straight to Ubud.
After Canggu.
After Canggu. Ubud is actually around an hour-and-a-half drive from Canggu, so it's not too far. There's a lot of things to see in Ubud. You can go to many waterfalls. We recommend the best time to go to the waterfalls is actually really early in the morning when they first open, around 7 to 9 a.m, just to beat all of the crowds.
One of the other best things about Ubud is that you can visit Mount Batur. Now, to go to Mount Batur, you can find many places in Ubud that will do the tour for you. I think we paid about £50
For both of us?
for both of us, and we definitely overpaid because we booked it on booking.com. But once you finish with Ubud, we recommend you head off to Sidham.
Cedarwin is an hour's drive from Ubud. It is just the best place for scenery, and if you want a quiet, relaxing, jungle-y type holiday, definitely recommend you go there. And you stay longer than 2 days, because we spent 2 days there and it was nowhere near enough time. Somewhere we actually wish we'd gone next was Ahmed. We heard so many amazing reviews there, and the snorkeling and diving is meant to be great. It's meant to be a really pretty area to stay, and the beaches are meant to be really nice. But we actually couldn't go there because if you watched our previous videos, you'll know that the boat didn't run from Ahmed to Gili when we wanted it to, so we had to cancel our trip and then go from Padang Bai to Gili.
So the Gili Islands actually are part of Lombok, which isn't Bali. It's another island in Indonesia, but it's so close by that we recommend if you're going to Bali, you may as well go to these islands. It was insanely beautiful, even though it was overrun with tourists.
Just one thing to mention about Gili Islands though, it is amazing for snorkeling and doing your paddy diving course. There's so many options along Gili Air and Gili Team, and I think it was around £300 for your full paddy course.
So the next place we headed was Nusa Lembongan. It's everything we expected from Gili. I didn't expect Nusa Lembongan to be like this. We had crystal clear waters, we swam with turtles, manta rays, we explored the island. It was just a really, really fun time.
Yeah. White sand beaches. Yeah. It was beautiful.
If you want to know a bit more about Nusa Lembongan and why we loved it, go watch our video. We actually just had such a good time there. So definitely recommend go watch that video and see what it's like for yourself.
So next to Nusa Lembongan is Nusa Penida. This is the main spot a lot of tourists go and visit because of the big diamond beach kind of viewpoint. We didn't actually go visit there. We're going to go back in December when we go back to Bali, but the boat across there is only about £10. Next to Lembongan is also Seninga, which they are attached by a bridge. So if you hire a bike or even just get a taxi, you can get across them both really easily.
One thing to mention was that the boats from Bali to Gili, really long rough boat from Gili to Nusa, really long rough boat. But the thing that's really good about the Nusa Islands, they're really close to Bali, so the boat journey is actually really short. And if you get the boat journey back, you end up not too far from Uluwatu. Now this is somewhere that we've heard so much about, but we didn't actually get to experience ourselves, and we're really sad about it, but maybe it's somewhere we'll go back in the future.
Okay, so obvious change of clothes here. It is 2 days later. We've had to come and refilm because some idiots decided to sit directly opposite us on the same table when we were filming last time.
Yeah, there was actually no one in the cafe, in the whole cafe, and they came and sat right here, banged about, made loads of noise. So now we're filming in the morning where we're really tired.
So it now leads us on to where to stay. We're only going to recommend 2 places, one in Canggu and one in Ubud, because we believe these are the best value places to stay, and they were just really nice. We loved them.
Casa is the first place. This was located in Ubud, and it's just a short drive outside of Ubud. If you rent in a scooter, it's absolutely fine, and they'll rent it for you. We actually got one from there. When we ordered it, it came in 15 minutes, and it was the best scooter we had in the whole place. But everything else in Casa is just perfect. The hosts are the sweetest people, and there's a pool, the rooms are cleaned every single day. It was just the best place we had, all for £10 a night.
Yeah, and Sashbata is the second place. That's located in Canggu. It's slightly on the outskirts of Canggu compared to in the centre, but I think that was about £20 a night. It had 2 co-working spaces, one with aircon, I think two with aircon actually, and then one outside one. You could also work on the roof. But the rooms were also super clean, beds were really comfy. It was great. Food prices, including alcohol, will either make or break your budget. Alcohol is very expensive out here if you are on £1,000 a month budget. We recommend about £10 a day for food, and that's including alcohol. So if you come in for a holiday, make sure you bring extra money, about £500 extra if you are wanting to drink every day or every weekend.
Yeah, generally beers are about £2. And cocktails are between like £5 and £10. So similar to the UK prices for the cocktails sometimes. It really just depends on where you're drinking. For food, if you want to stick within your £10 budget, then you're gonna have to incorporate some local food. The local rungs is where you're gonna want to eat, and it's £1 to £3 per meal. There's a limited menu, and they're just serving Indonesian food only. But for £1 to £3, it's amazing value.
And it's really tasty.
Yeah.
Then you have your Canggu cafes, which range from around £4 to £8. These can include Crate Cafe, Copenhagen, Bagelit. We will leave a link in the description below to our Canggu video. So if you want to watch that, we have a list in the description of all the places we recommend you go eat at. And then you have your bougie places, which we didn't go to because they were way out of our budget, but they are around UK prices, can range from £15 to £50.
But if you're going to Bali, you're going to get lucky at one point and get Bali belly. It happens to everyone.
So make sure you don't drink the water and don't brush your teeth with the water. And when you shower, make sure you don't swallow any of the water because it's got bad bacteria in and it can really upset your stomach.
The top tip that Henna really likes, that I told her before, tape your mouth shut whilst you're in the shower. We don't actually do this, but it's one silly tip I heard somewhere before. But if you do start to get sick on your holiday, I would recommend just go straight to a GP. I've done this before. They're relatively cheap, like £30 for a GP appointment, and then they'll set you up with an IV and everything if you need it.
Just another tip there, bring probiotics with you. We took them every day and we took them 2 weeks before coming to Bali, which really helped our stomach. When we got sick, we actually stopped taking the probiotics 2 days before we got sick, so we think maybe that's why we got a little bit ill.
Cash is key in Bali. Most places are going to ask for cash, so when you're there, you can just take money out on your card. If you've got a Revolut, Monzo, Starling, you're going to get charged very low FX fees, and you're going to get charged no fees at the ATMs.
So this next point is very important if you care about your hair health. If you come out to Bali, bring a shower filter. The water in Bali is really hard and harsh. It really damages your hair. It makes it break off and dry up. So I actually got my travel filter from Travel with Hol. I'll leave her Instagram link in the description below, but it's been really good so far. Had no problems with it.
Just for clarity, I've never used a travel filter and probably will never bother. Next point, SIM cards. When I've been here on holiday before, I've just not bothered getting a SIM card because there's Wi-Fi everywhere. But if you're here for a longer time, if you're here for a month, I'd definitely recommend getting a SIM card. They're really cheap. We went into a shop. You can just find the local shops anywhere. I wouldn't buy one at the airport because they're expensive, but we just went into a local shop. It was £5 to buy the SIM and about £6 for our monthly plan, and that included like 30 gigabytes of data, and that was for 30 days. Just one more point on that, they will need your passport and they will need like a photo of you to register you to the SIM card. It's not as easy as the UK where you can just go and buy one. They need to register your name to it for some reason. But yeah, if you come across that, it's pretty normal.
So lastly, we wanted to mention the average daily cost in Bali and what we spent so you can budget for your trip accordingly. If you want a more in-depth cost breakdown of what we spent in each individual place we visited, then you can go see our videos on our channel. At the end of each video, we have a proper full cost breakdown of everything we spent with accommodation, transport, bike hire, etc.
But on average, we spent £34 a day, which is less than £1 a day over budget. So considering we spent £180 of our activity budget on a gym membership in Canggu, I think we did pretty damn well here.
So many people talk about how expensive Bali, especially Canggu, has been over the last few years, and we do agree it is a lot more pricey than it was for.
But could you imagine a world where you have the fanciest gym you've ever been to in your life? You have the most amazing sunsets, surfing, and the best cafes that you could visit every 5 meters in Canggu, all for less than £1,000 a month.
Because on this budget, you can't do this back in the UK.
So guys, just to sum up, this is all our points that we recommend before coming to Bali. If you've got any questions, then just put them in the comments below and we'll answer them for you.
Well, thank you for watching the video.
Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.